Hello, collecting. How y'all doing? This is this is divinely guided, chosen star seed spiritually 777. How y'all doing? I had put some cards out earlier, and that particular was on YouTube. My go go and subscribe. So this is about the meditation. It was about an artist is it's like the instrument. So it is an artist is an instrument through which the universe will reveal itself. So when we deal with that, we're dealing with blissful, but also a wizard at that. Wizard is a person that can create anything. It could be a person, place, and thing, and it could be yourself. Can know how to create different things. What you have worked, and also it can be someone that is not doing in the work that's normally to use the gifts for bad will. Does that make sense? I have never in my life, and I decide to do something for myself and to use my gifts that's been given. And let me tell you something. There's a lot of things in a lot of gifts has been manifested for years ago. But I noticed that some of the things of my ancestry, a lot of them, from my understanding by using certain things, just not wasn't good. But my understanding by I tried to figure out what was the reason. But it's like control. Let me tell you something. If you ever went to church and at a point of your time, and you know good and well in the church and how churches are, and I've been through a lot of them, okay? Now, I'm not coming against it, but it's just some things that I've noticed as a child. I stayed in the church. That means I stayed in there, okay? But at a point in my time, it was my time to change from certain things because the church has been changed, okay? Now, I was not going to say that on the first video, but sometimes let me tell you something. When you know that somebody is they're doing it, and you know where it's coming from, and if you don't say nothing, nothing ain't gonna stop. You have to open your mouth. So this is action, and this is what I'm going to do, because if I don't take care of myself and my children, I've had four, and being a single woman, and that means that I don't have no protection. The only thing I have is the Most High. But do you not understand how people that they know you don't have no protection? You know what they would do behind the scenes and how they'll harm you and how to do stuff to you because you decide that you're not in the church. You know how long last church I was in, it's been over 12 years, and have not been in that church. I've been, but all of a sudden, and I have been through plenty of churches, and all of a sudden that I have found out that most of it is from the church that I used to either I worship there, or I've been in a place before. You know, let me tell you something. You don't know how certain type of societies and organization was come together and decide to blackball another person. I've seen the targeted individuals that on the YouTube that other people are doing that. And my understanding that was done before the pandemic and after. But you got different cultures and religions. I've been in this city for so long I ain't had no issues. But the cultures and different traditions of people have changed. But made you in a position like you were not clean. You know what a person would do something if a person that has abilities would know they where it's coming from. And we're tied to other cultures and to come and harm others with your family and your friends and your community. and then you're in a position that it's like you can't say nothing because if you tell something, then nobody ain't gonna understand it, and that's the purpose to put a person blackball. I believe her name is I believe her name is on Empire, and her name was Taraji, and she said something a couple months ago in 2023, and she was said something about something blackball. And the last time I heard a blackball, that was from Monique, and that was a couple years ago, and it was a lot. She was going through a lot. And my understanding, let me tell you something. I pay attention to these artists, what they do. And I'm saying some of the things that they do, they go through a lot. And that's the purpose, is to pay attention to what they go through. And then for another person, you pay attention. So that's like they go through a lot. Especially if they mess up or do something wrong. I mean, they are exposed out here to here, from they all the way back to naked. So let me say something. If they're gonna do that, they'll do that in any type of organization. My understanding here, then they'll put you like you nothing, and then they even find a way to have probing, also do surveillance and security. Now, all of these people, this would get me. They do all of that, and to put in a position that they, some of these people ain't even asked if you was hungry. They ain't even asked you if you needed something to pay on your bills, or even to even put $1 on a utility bill. These people are. Let me tell you something. They something else. And this is a rant, but it's time to just to say something. That's what I knew. When you go look for something, you're gonna find something. Sometimes you'll find something you don't want to be looking for. But sometimes that particular thing has been already up under you at all that time. But you was trying to figure out what happened. Because you knew something was wrong. But you didn't even know why. And didn't understand why. You thought a lot of things. I mean, you have confused yourself sometime, but don't know. But then, how can you confuse if somebody else confused you unless somebody had told you something that you can't see? And you tell me something. Let me tell you, when I knew when that lady on a couple of videos on targeted individuals, that they are organized. And that to the point, one of the ladies said it got to the point that the house was broken in the house. And I said, well, I thought about, me as spiritual who I am, and I do use the Bible for my own personal good, for my personal. But now I'm to the point that I've read all kinds of things to understand and know what spiritual is, and it still have to do with the Bible. But my thing of it is, you have so many gifts and you have it, and but you can't say something. Now the divination has to do with diviners, and it has to do with the Bible. It's in there spiritually. And my understanding is, my thing is to bring enlightenment, and also to give what is the what we call as subconscious and conscious, to bring in what is necessary to have a balance, is a temperance. And I say, okay, it's a way to do things and know that we all are in the same boat, but not to be really hard on another person, knowing that we fall together. But let me tell you, if I don't do nothing for myself, if this is you collective or feminine or masculine, if you don't get something and somebody is doing something to you like that, and I mean to the point, I said to myself, I'm gonna have to do something. And this is what we're calling trafficking. It can be trafficking of somebody to harm you or to do anything that you don't want to do. And that means somebody to put you in a position in trafficking. Now I'm in Texas, and I've noticed that Texas have a whole lot of trafficking in Texas. I even looked on YouTube and also on a Google. And I said, well, on Google, you can get the information more than ever. And I didn't even know that, yes, it's a lot of trafficking. And this is the whole world, really. But my understanding with your speech and how you speak and what are you doing influencing is the best thing in the world. But when somebody puts you in a position of gave you something, and then all of a sudden Then all of a sudden that I'm not supposed to use the gifts that was being given. Let me tell you something. Divine is divine. I was talking about the stars, and divine knew you first, and that's the stars. Now, anything guiding is something that's been influencing for me to speak in this world, and so that's what the chosen is. But chosen is been chosen long time ago. Now, if you, the chosen has been given is because you was out here and you came through birth. Birth is creation. And that was the abilities that you already have anyway, not just because of the education that you were being told from your mother. You already was a computer, your own self that the Father made you. Now that's my understanding how I felt. Now that's my on how I feel about it. Now this other people may not like what I say, but that's okay. But that's my honest way how I feel. Now, people can find their own way. However, I give what I have knowledge is for anyone can use it for whatever. I'm not even getting money for what I'm doing. Okay, so that means that what I'm doing is gift. It's not even asking for the money back because it was already was gave. So this borrowed times, that's what I'm doing for myself and for others. Not to use it from organizations coming against me because I'm doing something that somebody decided to come and be bully as a single woman to do some something like that because I'm by myself. Oh, I ain't by myself now. Just understand I ain't by myself. But sometimes when you see religions and all organizations, you have to say something, and you know where it's come from, and that's why I say I deal with my own, and I in the way I say it, because the wisdom is really have slack, and you have to understand it comes from somewhere, because some type of education and what I call controlling and conditioning will cause a lot of things. But sometimes people don't want to go back and say they did something wrong. I can sit here and say, I know I have slacked and I have failed some things. But sometimes when you get so high, you can't even go and tell someone you did wrong. But it takes a strong person to say I failed. But not to sit here and to use that from another person. But this is a time for, I believe, of the self realization of judgment. And judgment is self. And if you in here trying to make yourself to change for your healing awakening, that had nothing to do with somebody else coming organization and come against you or to try to harm you in a way that nobody don't know in the secrecy. Okay? They tears you about a bully and a bigot when you know them. You talking about narcissists about I say, like I said, abilities that are foreknowing, okay? Meaning knowing of your gifts has been given. You can get it from your mother, your father, or you can get it from your ancestors. Before, and this is what I'm saying, we're at a time that people are so envy as the knowledge that was being given and to come against each other and we fall together. I'm a mother, and that's what I'm gonna be. And mother gonna be what mother gonna act. I act that way where I'm even if I'm around other people, even they got their own kids. I'm a mother. I'm a mother, and that's who I am. I'm not gonna change that. But what I can say, I know what I do know. I know how people can be so ugly and they unorganized and all kinds of stuff. Even to try to even control your own fate. Even try to control to try to take your own things that was being given for even things I've even put out here. You have some I say you have a lot of people that have some ugliness about themselves and they have problems with with your gifts. So I have been studying my behind and studied in all kinds of things to try to understand about what I'm dealing with. And I think I mastered that. And I believe that I know I did. So my understand that some people need to just understand you and when you're trying to infront and trying to control somebody else's either, it's something you got so much information that you have, and other people don't want to stop that. So it tell you what you're dealing with. Insecurity, and I call security. It's like some type of guard or somebody controlling what organization is causing problems. It's time to say something. Action is here. I write. What I do is I write information. But before I did that, I also did scripture and study. I studied when the pandemic and before. And I started to do something for myself. I built my own store. And I tell you that I had to learn a whole lot of things with that. I'm on pause with that right now, and the reason why is because I know it was more information I need to do as business. Okay, a lot of things I didn't know that in order to do certain things I would like to do, but that was a lot of education I need to find how to do certain things, and I did not know that, and it's a lot of work with it, especially when you're doing your own self. Okay, meaning you building your own self with your products and everything else that you were doing, also with other things too. And I knew it was a lot on me and had me tired, and some things didn't work, but I learned as I went. But all the things I've done and put my time and studied, but I see how other people can be so ugly, and not used to being around that type of energy when there's a lot of competition. It's a lot of competition and a lot of envy, and a lot of people are not approving of what you're doing now because you changed. And people would change and cause problems. I say called. I mean, some people are called, and some people are called to do things in this world, and some people are selected. And I didn't say that everybody ain't chosen, but everybody is, but it's selected of a choice. And that is a time. And sometimes when a person do things, it's always a time to come back. And what I say, it will reveal itself. I don't believe that sometimes people do too much forceful and try to do things and try to control you. And what happens, the people don't, it comes back to them, comes back to people that's around. So it's life. Life is gonna be what it is, but the controlling. If you're not married, then why would someone would do some things like that? You ain't even married. We got a lot of people in this world. I'm dealing with in my family right now. I have people are using people that's passed on and using their identity. And then I'm dealing with identity crisis. We're dealing with a lot of cold-hearted people right now about an ID, and my understanding is a lot. And when you figure it out, and you're like, okay, well, let a person fall. And when you fall from grace, you're gonna fall hard, especially if you're so high. You know, I ain't got that high yet, but I know paying attention of this life, I've seen a lot of people have been so high and fail, and sometimes to see how the people been seen like they ain't nothing and be back naked, and it's not good to watch it. Now, so let me go in here. I gave out a little rant in here because I had to do something. I couldn't sleep, and I've been going through a lot with these moons and stuff, and I mean in the phases of it. And sometimes I can sleep, sometimes I can't. But sometimes today I just had to get on up and say something because I knew when I seen that card on YouTube, Divinely Guided and Chosen Starseed, Spiritually 777, I knew I had to get up and do something. All right. So now I'm gonna give a card here. These cards here that I had brought today was earlier. And I said, okay, I'm gonna do this on a video. And these are the cards that I pulled here. Now this here is the night, I call it the night school moonlit magic deck. And magic is creations. To me, my understanding is the magic is a deck, but it's creations from different books, right? And that's been broken down in different paragraphs and put in a card, okay? But also it has to do with, if you're paying attention, it has to the astrology, but also has to do with sky. Also has to do with heavens. It has to do with earth. It has to do all kinds of things in here. It has to do natal charts. It has to do with your horoscope, and it has to horoscope and different things that we use. But it has to do with your body, elements. So it's all of the elements. So that'd be earth, be fire, water, and air. So that is some of the information here. But yeah, other things I was talking about the strawberry moon. It's about the hunt. You know what I'm saying? We're in a hunt time. We're in a revere. It's the reveal of things, and that brings what's really that it is. It's about a hunt, and also do with a plate. Sometimes it's not the plate that you eat, and put your foot on the plate. It could be something else. It has to do with money. So money also do with plate, but also it's talking about could put somebody on a plate. Okay, so it's my understanding it could be somebody trying to put your head on a plate if they resonate. Now I'm just saying, we're in a time people is weird, and I say weird. That means people have changed. Now let's get in here. I had seen a card here. It says this one here, right here. It says read leaves. Okay, but this one here. Let me make sure I had it earlier. I had it in order. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it was unleash your senses, and it has to do with night feel on your skin, meaning of a time. Okay, now sometime at night, you can't really see nothing at night. Sometimes it'll be little bugs or whatever, but also just giving you that information. But also it is a blanket or a butterfly kiss. It's like it's the night of human and a playful and sensual chili. Just give you some information if it resonates for somebody. I mean, it's giving you a little bit of butterfly, giving you some type of transformation. Also, of a kiss, and things that's in hidden things, but also give you subconscious too. So just something that may be that resonate. Could be a past or something, but it's unleashed of your senses. That means something that you may have to use some of your elements that's going on with you. But this is about personal. Okay, this is an individual here. Okay, now next one is read the levels. Now this is about what's in your present right now. So we're gonna give you that. Make a cup and alter a loose leaf tea. There's somebody like if you do tea and you sip a tea, right? So sometimes you can have certain type of devices that you can use. You can get that at Amazon, and you put your tea leaves in there, and you can use a certain way. We call it steeping of a tea. And there also you can use tea leaves, and anybody that can read leaves. Some people know how to do that. Now I ain't on that, but uh, I don't know all about that, but I know some people do. Okay, that could be somebody that has that type of visionary to see anything to understand about the leaves with tea. And tea is good for you, especially for your throat. Okay, also it's good things for a tea anyway. These are natural leaves. Okay, if they resonate for somebody. I have it's something a pattern. See, just what I'm saying. Visionary has to do with your patterns. Some people can see the leaves of the patterns of a tea after you have tea, right? And sometimes those bags they'll break them a little bit because it's so hot. But some people may have that type of visionary to understand it about their clairs. So anybody that has clairvoyant may have that visionary to understand that. Because it's about the bottom of the cup. So maybe somebody that in this you may need or may have that intuition to understand that you may need to do that and for understanding for what's going on. But it has to do read the leaves. Leaves gonna tell you all the natural that you need. Natural is gonna give you the information. If you the leaves gonna bring it back to you. And maybe in the present, you may do a little bit more tea if that kind of connects to those leaves. The next one is reading micro patterns. Back at visionary, we're on the visionary. Somebody has that strong energy with visionary. Okay, because somebody might have Pisces energy, also have Cancer and Scorpio in the chart that has those, what we call it, clairvoyant. Because it's watery. Watery has that emotional and feeling type of the properties of watery for those for seers for Pisces and also Cancer and Scorpio, but also it has a lot of water charts in Jupiter. I say, excuse me, Aquarius. Okay, if you have that connect or confident, oh, excuse me, if you connect with the resonate to that, excuse me. But that is that. To me, with this here is three gonna give you that. Three is gonna give somebody has some type of empress energy with that. And so also telling you the future is gonna be around. So giving you about patterns. And my understanding it has to do with the universe can be discovered by looking at a small piece of it. It says do some research of palm facial reading. So that's somebody that can read palms and facial understand about the patterns. Maybe somebody can understand that type of visionary, but it is divination that's been given. Okay, somebody is an empress in their energy, they may have that. So the next one is unleash your senses. So that's going to give you the information is that it's still about your senses. Senses has we have four elements, but now five. Five is the five element. You have to put yourself to. But you have the elements is all surrounding, but you put yourself first, then make you five. So those elements that you may have, right? And what that is a sound, right? But at night. So at night you can hear is a natural of of a sound, you know. And sometimes some people will, if they're in a country, they will up the what they call it. They will open the windows and let the air breeze in, but you can hear the sound from the night sky, right? So sometimes people can sleep better like that. In the country, in the city is busy, so it's a different type of sound. So my understanding that it's about opening your eyes and closing them. Does this change what you hear? And the night were a song, what song would it be? So somebody that has clairaudience about the sound. Sound can make you more as peace or sleepy. Also, sometimes people, if they can't sleep, then they'll use music, in order for them to be able to go to sleep. That's a number four here. That could be somebody as an emperor that's in that energy. Okay. So now the next one is I have another unleash your senses. That's like what does the night sound like? Still about clairaudience. Try opening your eyes and closing them. Does this change? So we got two things going on here. Excuse me, that's the same one. It's a connection. So excuse me. Number five gonna give you a connection. So that was the fourth. So that's an emperor right there. Number five gonna give you I call it the tarot card will give you a hierophant. That's going to give you some type of teaching and also going to give you some type of connection. So this is a connect, okay? So build a connection with a plant, an animal, crystal, or even one of your ancestors by giving it a voice through free writing. Somebody exactly is teacher and a writing. Let your hand flow across the page, writing whatever comes to you. Write first, interpret, and later trust that you're not making it up. So somebody is a teacher here, a priest, or some type of prophet, or a poet, or a musician, excuse me, and you may have those type of abilities. Okay, and also it's connected. So there it is. That giving you that you have that strong head with connection to some of your abilities that's been given. Now, number six giving you Capricorn energy. Now, Capricorn, six chord don't give you that loving of also something that is connecting. Six has to do with work, but it has to do with Virgo. You know, six is the as a Virgo moon. Also, with six gonna give you Gemini, the month of Gemini, but also it's gonna give you some type of pearls. Okay, get some wisdom with that, and all I can say give you some also that energy of sixth house competition. But it's about the Capricorn. Capricorn has to do with I believe that's Capricorn is in the 10th house, I believe, and the 10th house has to do with work. Also has to do with the more of connected to Earth, and Earth is has to do with business. You know, business has to do with Earth matters. Okay, that has to do with grounding, and some Capricorn it is either Capricorn or a Taurus, and also could be in a Virgo if that resonate. But this Capricorn has to do with sober, serious, and it give you conscious, grounded, history oriented, and structure, traditional, self determinating, and prone, and also prescient, and giving you some negative, giving you that negativity. Okay, in the body, it is the knees, bones, teeth, and skin. So when you're dealing with that Capricorn energy, that is in the body. So that's some things. It could be a positive or a negative that has something to do with the body. Okay, so that has to do with bones and knees and teeth and skin. And also, Capricorn is always about the outside. You know, it looks good on the outside. They have of those abilities of beauty. And also, they look for beauty as well. So when you're dealing with a Capricorn, they look on the outside. They look on the outside before it was inside. And some of them, I noticed that most of the Capricorn, they like on the outside. And they always look for that. And then later on, you find out, sometimes, not everybody, but realize that the outside will get you in trouble. So that understanding. So when you're dealing with that Capricorn, you gotta be careful with that because Capricorn has to do with the goat, and goat has to do with the beast. And deal with the beast, you got to deal with that, and how you deal with it. Sometimes people, you realize for the cards that I'm paying or what I pulled today, it has something to do with past life. Past life has to do with a lot of things that a lot of our people don't understand about past life. And past life has to do with divine connection, being divine and a masculine feminine. And sometimes you never was told anything. And the reason why you weren't told because there's a reason. But sometimes in your family don't tell you everything, and then you don't know. And you ask the questions and everybody run. That means anybody that come against you go to ask the questions in your family and they don't say something is because they knew all about it. And when you know and they know and when they realize that yeah they know, okay, they know. But what that is just let you know some things that you have to find a way to deal it in your own way. And there, I my understanding for my rent, I did the best I could. But like I said, I've changed. And honey, and I have changed. And one thing about me, the Most High is over my head, regardless of what I do. I may not be like who I was as a child, but I'm grown, and I had grown kids. Sometimes you have to let a person know who you really are. So sometimes you have to fight in order to do something. So my thing of it is, now that I feel good, I have able to give out the information that I gave to the collective. I've done my part, and I am not asking for the money. It would be nice, but I'm not in here acting crazy out here like that. But I can be. Anybody is somebody is you got a war within, not just yourself, but other people that you can't see causing problems and controlling your environment, your person, place, and thing, what you work, and trying to stop you to even do even work. You know, that's bad when a person's trying to control in your own work as you trying to work and let you know it's more than what it really is. Because nobody don't do anything like that. Because my understanding, the way this world is going on right now, and if you decided that some of the things you've done with your own business and you're going back and you want to work and you're seeing that some of the things that you try to do with your business, you know you needed more to help, and you needed the help to help you with your business. But sometimes you had to go back and work. But my understanding, if you're doing that, then and other people or powers that's trying to control, then it's more than what it really is. I think sometimes people just need to worry about themselves and know and deal with your own problems instead of trying to harm other people. And then come back to the people, but also you harm another person and you try to break her down or break him down due to of the powers that you have. And like I said, it's gonna reveal itself. And reveal itself. Oh. Now this on today was 25. 25 is still Cancer. We're in a Cancer right now. So the one that I had yesterday was the 24th. So I was dealing with that. But also it gives a lot of information here. And it has to do with a lot of religious and domination or dominating. And like I said, you can be in that a dominating of a wizard, you know. But also the information, it's just giving you that some of the information that I've read, some of the things. Doesn't mean that I know everything, but I just give what is necessary for what I'm giving out as influence in this energy that I'm giving. Energy is going to be source, yourself, place, and everything around. It could be the moons, it could be the sun, it could be anything. But that's me. It's what I feel and how I'm my visionary or whatever my communication giving out to influence to others. But my understanding is giving a lot of a change. Change can come about through study, increase self awareness, raise conscious and influence in experience, and above all, in basic desire, improve oneself. That's exactly because when you a spiritual awakening is that you're dealing with your own self. A time of age. It's been like you have awakened enlightenment that you have went through so much, and you have the opportunity to give out the information that you learned of study that you have worked. And my understanding, honey, regardless of what goat been messing with you, what type of wizard you was dealing with, honey, you still gonna have to have an action for what you do in this world, good or bad. And if somebody puts you in that predicament, sometime spiritually, you would think it was a time for yourself. So I done done it's my part that I have to deal with karmic and type of justice that I put in this life. But sometimes it's about more forcing than more than what it really is. I say it some people after they do the work, then you'll find the ones are now they come around. They want to be more mm, conditioning, but you how you deal with that when a person finally wants to they did something that they can't even tell you, but you know they did it. But you have to figure out how you have your peace after the fact, because it's going to reveal itself. But don't allow to be out here acting crazy, you know, because another person have the power over you or try to put you in a position. Because a person gonna know, people gonna know who you really are daily, regardless if somebody puts you out here as a target individual. And sometimes people are scared and they kind of want to, you know, not to want to be in between of it. And you have to forgive them too. Um, let's see. Um, when you're dealing with that type of energy, sometimes people be in as a depressive ever stage. That's somebody that's pressed down, you know, and puts you down low, and that's an insult. And I would say that the cards that I brought, that was on my mind about dealing with it. And I didn't know that this was going to be about target individually, but I really finally found some peace with that because I wasn't at a time I was still going through it, but I'm trying to find peace. And when you find peace with it, you just, you better than you was of distraught. And you didn't know how to tell nobody. But grace, baby, grace and mercy. And you figure it out, and then you find peace. When the Most High puts a peace on you, and it's something that nobody else, it was Him. And when that peace, and no matter what you're going through, somebody was around. You didn't know all of it, but when you change, you change. But you want the purpose of giving out. But when you're in a war, you ain't gonna be pretty with it. You ain't gonna act. You're gonna be acting out because you have to find a way to come out of whatever is being put you in that position. And when you fighting and somebody in front, that's not gonna be pretty. Let's see anything else. Well, it says something here. People want to be left alone to do what they love must, and therefore their family and friends must be highly understanding of a strict privacy that need for them or for their work. Okay? Now, that tell you some information about the Capricorn energy as well, but also giving information what I've said about my little rant and giving some of my personal of the things I went through. But when you work, it's like you don't have time but build. And sometimes your friends and family may have a problem with you about what you're doing, but it's going to make something beautiful later. And then they have to understand why you did that. So we're in that time of competition and trying to understand of change. If you're changing, then they changing too. So just imagine how many people have changed. But now, if you didn't change, so now you have to start to understand that other people have changed too. And you have to have peace within that too. So it's like if that resonates for someone. Let's see anything. Yes, it's still working. So this is like maybe you worked at home, and a lot of the entrepreneurs were starting at working at home, and then figured out that you had different things that you have to do. Sometimes you work at home, you have to have some type of insurance with rental insurance. Okay, when you're doing a home. Let's see. Um, it says something about who work in the offices are primarily out of a society giving you usually a value their home life moved than their work. Okay, all reserve the larger part of their energies for personal interest. So like I said, work home. And sometimes we're working in at that time pandemic and before, some people was working at a job and some was working at home. So this may be somebody resonating in that. I have some Cancer energy going on in here. Let's see. Venus in here, and it's ruled for the number 6. See, magnet, giving you that magnet and attracting a love, and also giving you admiration. I think that is, and also giving you. It's talking about privacy again, and which we need for the work. That's got that, like I said, Cancer, strong, Moon, influencing, and it also give you some of that primary of influence of Venus. So that's like Venus. That's Venus is that is that house, sixth house too. But also giving you some of that often love becomes the dominant theme in the lives of those ruled in that number. So they okay, now you're dealing with number six tied with something. And like I said, it's dominant. So you may be in a dominant partner that has that Capricorn in Cancer. So it could be a Capricorn that have Cancer in there and has a dominant person. Mm-hmm. I see anything in here? Well, let me just give an advice here. It says it's give the information. Let me see it here because I don't have my glasses. It says in art. It says it is examine of effects of your work, objectively, and consider them from an ethical point of view. Keep in touch with the society values, if only to know what they are. Beware. It says. Let me go say this again. If only to know what they are. Beware of becoming too withdrawn or isolated. See, so when you work at home and you building different things, your business and where you're trying to build, and sometimes you be isolating, and sometimes at work, I'm telling you, at a point in time, depression. Sometimes you work so much, even to the point I notice when you work so much and building your business, or you can get burnt out. You can get burnt out when you're doing it too much. But it also has to do with isolated. That somebody's like in that position, like I said, somebody put you in that corner and that cause problems, and you're withdrawn, you know. Like I say, if a person puts you in there and then you have one door open, well, that one door open, you gonna knock something out. I'm telling you. So, all right. So, anything else? But just tell you that. Let me see. Let me give me one card here. Let's see. Let's do. Let's use this here. It's always something between. Let's see. Bring something in here to kind of help you. Decisions. Decision is in your decision. It says, it's your decision whether you keep this up or let it go, but continually will not change the circumstance of the outcome. Now, you're dealing with, like I said, with organization, right? But look, you got a choice. Just a decision. Sometimes you just have to get away out of people that in their area. Sometimes when you remove yourself out of that circumstances and it's your time to move on, and another person allow you and have peace with it too, because that's the only thing that's going to keep peace. So your decisions, you have a choice, and like I said, of a choice of good or bad, you have a choice, and let people gonna be who they're gonna be. But if you sit here and allow somebody to control your fate, you done already failed. Don't let nobody to put you in that position of a control, because therefore, if you married, that's something you have to deal with your partner. But if you're single, now I'm single. See, I ain't never been married. Okay? So that tell me that what I'm dealing with has something to do with a whole lot of people with a lot of bigots and bullies. Okay? So just imagine how I went through. And for anybody to resonate that, when you talk about decision, let me see what else we got in here. Yeah, now giving you sadness energy. Allow yourself a space of feel miserable, mourn and what has been lost or what cannot be. If you don't take the time now, your sadness will catch up with your later when you least expect it. You know, when I was going through a lot, that was I seen that card once before, and I knew that if I just didn't take the time and take my time with what I was dealing with, it was gonna be a problem. So I to the point I had to figure out how I can release it and not to bring bad energy back to someone else. So let's use this one. I'm gonna do she believed and so she could. Yeah, my business was naturally just for me. Then I changed my title to Natural JFM, and that was my still to this day it's still my business. I'm just at pause right now. So my thing is I'm transition right now, moving to another place. So just imagine I've been through something, so been trying to keep the peace. That's all it is. Let's see. It says into a daybreak. That's wondrously clear eye wise. Okay, it's kind of like the. I'm gonna say it again. Into a daybreak. That's it says into a daybreak. That's wondrously clear eye rise. So that's like your wonder, your journey. You went through it. Okay, you went through it. So that's like a daybreak and giving you wonder and but clear as a visionary eye rise. Amazing. That is Miaya Angelou. Amazing. I'm gonna leave that there. Poets. I love poets, and she's one of my favorite. A lot of our ancestors, you know, and sometimes you just go through a lot. It's your time for your work, and sometimes it's just a part of the process, though. But if that resonates somebody, y'all, you know, when our family fall, we all fall together, and we can get back up too. When you see other people, and you know they fail and you fail, so what is going to purpose for to act dead and dead all around? My understanding living is the purpose, and not to harm other people or to. It's not funny to see a person get in that position. I just say sometimes we have to understand that when we see all our leaders fall down like that, and sometimes you have to say, hey, you know, you don't like to see that, but it happens. Sometimes you see, you're revealing, you see, well, they done something, but not to sit there and allow a person to keep it in that position. Just imagine that the family, that they're going through a lot when a person falls. Well, how can I say this? Because my right now is kind of like I'm not trying to keep the peace, but it's just sometimes you have to forgive people and not to be so angry with other people when they fall. You know, so understand we have to look at ourselves too. Well, anyway, y'all, that's all I'm gonna say for this collective, and hope that something to help somebody, and peace and everything. Have a wonderful night.